Good afternoon to everybody. I would like first to thank the government and Election Commission of Bangladesh for extending the kind invitation to come and share the experience of the parliamentary election in Bangladesh. We visited a number of centers in Dhaka and surrounding areas like Tongi. In all centers visited, we noticed quiet and peaceful environment, not only in the voting center, but also commuting between voting centers, in the streets, in the roads, approaching the center as well. The procedures we observed in the election commission, in the election centers, voting centers, were very simple and very straightforward. It was easy for the voters, citizens, to go there and cast their votes. And I timed the voting time per voter. It ranges between 1 minute 15 seconds to 2 minutes 30 seconds. That depends on age, of course, and gender, and so on and so forth. But this is very good by international standards.
The government and people of Bangladesh for very peaceful elections. We are equally impressed with the voters' discipline, patience, and peaceful conduct of these elections. Most notably, the women and the youth for their show of patriotism, commitment to democracy by turning out in large numbers to vote. We also commend the National Election Commission for its professional conduct on the voting process and laud and appreciate the Joint Security Task Force for ably providing an election security. We also commend all the volunteers and on how they were able to help the voters. It was indeed a good sign to see all the different party volunteers sitting together and working side by side. This is historic. Most often time, party agents don't sit together. Most often time, party agents are in confrontation. But what we saw today was very, very impressive. All of them sat in one tent and they were all doing their jobs together. So we should clap for ourselves, clap for yourself. Well done.
Report of the OIC mission on observation of general election in the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Our mission, OIC mission. The OIC mission began its work observing the general election in Bangladesh with the reference to the OIC Charter and the OIC Code of Conduct of the OIC observers and guidelines for international election observers and foreign media for Bangladesh Election Commission. The OIC Election Observation Mission visited many polling stations in capital, Dhaka. Voting time was from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. During the visit, the OIC delegation witnessed the opening of polling stations, the citizens' exercise of their voting rights. Opening of polling stations, OIC observers noted that the polling station visited opening their doors on the time decided by the election authorities. Polling station personnel, the OIC delegation noted that the election personnel and the polling stations have the required competence to carry out their work. Election material, equipment, and material were provided in all polling stations visited.
I have seen the result of this. In 2013, I was here in the hospital of Dhaka, in the unit of burnt people. Hundreds. You know what it is to go through hundreds of people, burnt people, on the floor, on the corridors, everywhere. Bus drivers, children, women that had nothing to do with nothing. And they were like that. And when I confronted opposition leaders with that, the only thing I could hear was, well, in the past, the Awami League did the same. Which I don't know if it did or if it did not, but it's not an answer. It's not possible. We have to break this logic of violence. And the way to break it is to go to a table and to discuss. I mean, there are a lot of accusations on 2018. I was not here for the elections of 2018. I was in 2018 in Bangladesh, but not in the elections. I was not there. No testimony. I have nothing to say about that. But I did read a lot of things. Okay, let's put that on the table and let's discuss and let's see how to improve it. And the Elections Commission, what they are doing, what they should do. I mean, all should be discussed. Some things, I mean, there are things that, to be very honest with you, I don't think it really is a problem of culture. You know, one of the things that I will be putting in my report that impressed me not so positively was that even with this low turnout, in one of the polling stations, two different candidates, one independent and another the Awami League, you know, by the door, I mean, they were confronting by shouting to each other. I mean, there were no political violence, but there was something that was not possible. And I looked at it and I said, well, imagine it would be the BNP and the Awami League. I mean, it could be a civil war. I mean, and that's what we have to change. Not we, I mean, it's for the Bangladeshi people. You have to change this. And without changing this, there will not be, you know, democracy, of course, is choice. Of course, is polarization to a certain extent. But cannot be a toxic polarization. People have to agree on some principles. If they don't do it, it's very difficult.